God was with us last night.
The destruction's incredible.
Yeah, it's horrible. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
And then today we have one of the prettiest days of the year.
I know, isn't this crazy?
It is crazy. Yeah. So last night I had supper, and of course we canceled all sorts of stuff all over the state yesterday because we had received, forecasts from the National Weather Service talking about the chances of hail and tornadoes and flash floods. And after supper, Don and I walked outside last night, and we had the most beautiful sunset in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
I said, Don, I think we just dodged a bullet here in Louisiana. I walked back inside, and that's exactly what it is. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
It was the most eerie sky, though. I mean, a lot of people will tell you that. It was almost green right before. It's like the calm before the storm. Really. I mean, it was insane. But we're so lucky to be alive.
Did the flag make it, or did you put it back up?
I believe my husband and his friends put the flag back up, but I asked the same question when I came out. I was like, wait a minute, did it make it? Right, because a lot of things stayed on our wall. I mean, it's incredible. My rings were on my my bathtub, on the counter, and that was still there when we went back, like after all this happened, when we got our bearings. But all I could do was just get my son out. Luckily, my in-laws somehow made it here before the police. I don't know, love of a mother and father will get you here fast. And so I just kind of handed my son over to them, and then we just started, picking up the pieces.
Gotcha.
My mother was a school teacher.
Yes.
Your mother's a school teacher.
Yes, my mother's a school teacher.
God bless you.
I live about a mile that way.
I think we're good to go. We'll have a shot up for as long as y'all need it. No word on when the press conference will start, though.
Then obviously Ida. He dealt with the pandemic.
Okay, sounds good.
And then now we're dealing with this devastating tornado that is impacting St. Bernard Parish. It's over the upper back 17 when
Mr. McGinnis, is it okay if we don't talk right now? I'm sorry. Thank you. I'm sorry.
This is Mike. Yeah.
In the closet with both kids.
Cousin. Okay. Cousin. His mom is my first cousin. So we out here helping. I'm doing all right. Yeah.
Retirement's good.
Well, I just had a double lung treatment. Yeah.
Yes.
Working all right.
That's another way to try to feel like
Yeah. They got tall.
Kids are good. The little one slept through it. Sort of. Yeah. She woke up like in the midst of it, and then she just fell back right to sleep. And then the big ones. My big girls had a rough time with it.
What's your wife?
But we're over over on the other side of Judge Perez at my in-laws' house. They didn't have any damage. I mean, we're on generator
Cole,
power.
come here, Cole.
Yeah. So we're.
So this family was recognized by the state for doing more work in the field of helping people with developmental disabilities than, just the work that they just tremendous, and just got their award.
Couple months ago.
Couple months ago.
Yeah.
In Baton
It
Rouge.
made it on the show. It's still sitting up there.
Yeah.
Oh, man. God bless you. Thank you. Is there anything we can do for you?
We don't even know right now.
I know.
We don't even know right now. I mean,
Probably
I'll
probably
be in touch. How's that sound? I'll have my people call your people.
You'll be thinking
It's nice
of
to have friends in high places. You
when you
know?
finally get a chance to clear your mind, there'll be a lot of stuff that comes up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm just thankful you have insurance though.
Yeah.
I'm thankful we're alive right now.
Yes.
Yeah, well, absolutely. We're not. None of us are guaranteed tomorrow, right?
Not at all. Not at all. So, well,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you for coming down here and checking it
Mr.
out.
Thank y'all for being good neighbors to one another too.
Absolutely.
I've heard that.
All right, we need something. Mr. Governor, Cole, their neighbor is.
So you sent your son to Hammond High, went to Hammond East Side.
Yeah.
He would come to our classes in the morning.
Yeah,
and we'd
John
walk
Miller.
him to class every day. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
My son Cole was just appointed to the Merchant Marine Academy, so I know you're
Oh.
at West Point.
Well, very good.
Yes, sir.
And that's a King's Point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. You'll have a tremendous future when you get out of there. You'll be very much in demand. You're going to be good. So this is your house?
Yes, sir. That's the house. Yes, sir. My wife and I, my two sons, and my dad were here.
His wife here, and
My wife.
she don't want to come over.
Nah,
here.
she's not gonna come over. Yeah, we're just watching the news, kind of got alerted, and before you knew it, we're in a bathroom closet. Yeah,
That's
hanging
good.
on
You were
tight.
saying some Hail
Pretty
Marys.
quick to get a work crew out here.
Yeah, well, good friends, right? But they asked me how long it lasted. I said 4 Hail Marys.
Yeah.
How long it was?
Mr. Governor, Mr. Serenade is Doris Voce's colleague for many, many, many years.
I can't
And
say many.
Justice
44.
Weimer's frat buddy,
Oh, wow.
right?
Well, I taught him. He was in a different fraternity. I couldn't convince him to join our fraternity. But he was, Thibodeau, and I taught at Thibodeau High. So.
How do you do?
All right, so you were home when this happened.
Yes, sir. 100%.
Your cell phone gave you a warning?
So cell phone came through with the warning, yes, sir. Which we'd gotten them before, but it just never really happened. I haven't seen tornadoes in this area. My dad lives with us, and I have a back room at my house. And hustles work. He can't retire. So he says, "Man, you better watch the news. This thing kind of looks serious." So the news about 7, started to get a little bit worried, and the alert came through on the phones, and before we knew it, it was on us. It was quick. It was quick. It happened real quick. Way quicker than we
Did
thought.
y'all shop it? Did y'all able?
Yeah, so we were able. We have in our master bathroom. We have a closet.
Okay. So y'all were able to get to it.
We put all of us in the closet. Like I said, 4 Hail Marys and a whole lot of house rattling. And we came out the bedroom. Like, man, we made it. Nothing in our bedroom was damaged. Turned into the kitchen, and all the windows were blown out. But our windows, all the breaks was from debris. So I had a bunch of debris in my house. So nothing really exploded out. And so when we came out, we saw everything. And then when we opened the door and saw the house across the street, which we watched them pull in the driveway literally 3 minutes before it hit.
Did he go inside?
Yes, sir. He got inside. We saw him turn his porch light on, and then we ran for cover. We came out. The house was gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
A little tough.
You got insurance?
Do have insurance? Yes. I'm a Katrina boy, so I was the head coach at Ponchatoula High School. So we moved out of here after Katrina. My son was 2. Landed in Ponchatoula. It was time to get him in high school, and I'm a Holy Cross graduate, and the Catholic schools are important to me. And
It's the only bad thing about you.
so we moved back down, built this house. It was going to be 3 years old in July. Thinking, all right, well, we made it through Ida, and everybody told me the wall out there held. I'm sitting here with my friend, Mr. McGinnis, and I'm like, the wall held? He's like, yep, my property value went up. And then this happened. So like, you know, I guess he only gives it to the ones who are strong enough to handle it, but he can give me a break starting in a little while soon, whenever he wants.
I understand. Well, God bless you. Well, it's awfully tragic, and of course, if you're in the family of the young man who died, then you know, it couldn't have been any worse, right?
No.
But when you fly over this stretch and you see the utter destruction and how many homes and how severely damaged, the fact that we only lost one person it is amazing.
It's a miracle.
And of course, that's not going to comfort that family, but
not at all.
You know.
Not at all.
By the way, John Miller is second semester sophomore at LSU, studying for his law school admissions test. Yeah.
Good for him.
So just want you to know how quickly time flies, because he was in the 8th grade when you were talking about.
We would walk him over to Hammond East Side.
Yeah.
He would sit in our little 1-hour class in the morning. We'd walk him to Hammond East Side every day. I was in charge of that. Well, I monitored that class. Mr. Danielle East ran the class. So, yeah.
Thank you for that. And thank you for being an educator.
Yeah. No doubt.
And
no
a
doubt.
coach.
Coach, all of it. I was at Hammond High for a while, Ponchatoula for a while, LaRonja right after Katrina.
Yeah.
Melissa Stiller gave me my first job at LaRonja Middle.
Yeah. Well, my brother Andrew was out there.
Yes, he was.
You remember Andrew?
Yeah. Very well. Yep, met them all. And then I worked for Rusty Barrio at Hammond and Carmen Moore. Then I got the Ponchatoula job. And then I had a chance to go back to Hammond to be an administrator. Hank Tierney took the Ponchatoula job. Hank's taken the Shaw job and hired me to go back. So it's life kind of comes full circle.
And you're talking about going up there after Katrina. After Katrina, I remember going to church one Sunday. I'm Catholic. And I'm looking around the church. I'm like, who are all these people coming to church with us this weekend? And the truth is, they had come from St. Bernard Parish, and a lot of them still own places up there, but they have moved back. Some of them didn't move back, but just it seemed like one Sunday in Mass, all these St. Bernard people were.
My family's still up there. My 2 sisters, they both married and stayed up there. My mom and dad stay up there. I have an aunt and uncle, all the same subdivision in Ponchatoula off of this thing doesn't stop. But we stayed there and just moved back to keep our kids in Catholic high school.
Yeah.
You know, and that was our approach. And then here we go.
You don't object to that, do you?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Well,
it.
Coach, we appreciate you. And,
Got it.
a lot of people will be praying for you. If there's anything that you think we can do, don't hesitate to reach out to us.
You got it. It's a good community, good people. Always has been. That's how we came back. And what's crazy for us, there's 5 Holy Cross alums on this street that are affected.
And that's
Right
okay.
there, myself. 2, that's 3, 4, and 5. So there's 5 of us within 200-yard range that are Holy Cross alums.
And my 2 grandsons are going
Holy
to
Cross. In the same grade with my younger son. So tough one.
God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. Nice meeting you.
And I'll tell Justice Raymond, he couldn't be helped. He couldn't make the right decision.
That's it. He didn't know his math. I was just.
Very good. So you want to drive around and go ahead and do
Guys, no. If y'all can back up, we're gonna stand here. The governor's just going over his notes. If y'all can get back there.
Looks like the press is going to start in a minute, Lamar. They're just going over some notes right now. We're setting up.
Guys, y'all come over here. That'll be in the back. And when the governor's finished, he'll come over. So guys, we're going to stand. The meeting can back up that way. It'll be fine. All right.
If you need it, catch it.
Eugene only here released you, but I didn't.
Yeah, we did talk to him. The needs will be played.
I hear you, Lamar. He's governor's.
And now, almost 17 years later,
Hey, Troy?
after building, the good news is,
Congressman, I'm
most
sorry.
they plan to rebuild because they don't understand about that.
Where's Senator Hewitt? Senator Hewitt? We're gonna do it.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted the back.
No.
Surveying damage, and you can see
We're gonna get him to come through. Flanking. We might get some questions. Be current. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Representative. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for coming.
No, thank you.
Is the governor coming? He's still reviewing.
He's still behind you. He's doing over his notes.
So we're gonna get the governor to stand there.
Joe, can we grab you real quick before we start?
Anybody else?
We're trying to talk to as many people as possible because we are live. This is Joe with the state senator.
Gotcha.
Would you like to come over here too? Sure. Grab you real quickly too. Sharon Hughes as well, both state senators who make up this area here. So one Republican, one Democrat, but I think politics are clearly on this continent. How much help can you get this area when it comes? Jason, if you want to come over too. Jason Hughes, the state representative, touches parts of Arabi, obviously. The lower ninth ward. What can you all do? The people who are watching this are going to get so much help when it comes to resources, shelter, and funding. What
I already talked to them all out there celebrating.
And let me tell you something, man.
I immediately called, pulled aside, I called my people. Well, listen, at the end of the day, you still get the benefits. But we should have had you fight that way. No. Listen. I promise you that. So, yeah.
I had a thinking I was really mad.
Sharon, you and Joe, state senators, Jason Hughes, state representative. You've seen the damage, right?
The net effect is still good.
Encouraging? If there isn't
Good. It's all good.
No. We like to have you stand there with us,
for the
man.
rest of your time on this earth. All right,
I'm gonna
Governor.
make up.
Yeah, looks like we're coming up, Lamar.
Right here.
two off, Jason, but the governor's stepping up.
Keep on the front here.
Guys, can y'all step back just a little bit? Is that okay? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
First of all, thank y'all for coming out this afternoon, and I want to start by.
All right. We're here with Governor John Bel Edwards, who just toured the damage in St. Bernard Parish, so let's go straight to him.
Evening, I should say, and then overnight, by Guy McGinnis and his team here in St. Bernard Parish, but Sheriff Jimmy Pullman, and then so many people from surrounding parishes. It's really inspirational to have leadership like that, and then I think the lesson that we can take from this is what it means to be neighbors to one another when something like this happens. Because as we've been walking this neighborhood, the one thing that people tell me more than anything else is how thankful they are for their neighbors. Because as soon as the neighbors realized they had made it through, they were out checking on other people and actually rendering assistance and so forth. And so we always are inspired by the generosity and the decency, the goodness of the people of Louisiana. and their resilience. And this is certainly no different. You know, we conducted a flyover on the way in earlier, and the swath of damage is just tremendous. And the nature of a tornado, it doesn't really make sense, because you have one house totally destroyed. The house next to it looks like it's not hurt at all, but the amount of damage that we've seen, you would think, especially when you know that people were home when this happened, you would think that we would have had a lot more deaths and injuries. We can be very thankful that there was only one. Of course, if you're in that family, then it was 100%, right, for that family. So let's everybody lift that family up in prayer, and pray that God will give them some peace and comfort that defies all human understanding. And then there were about 8 individuals who were injured enough that they had to go to the hospital and be treated. So from that perspective, I can tell you it could have been a lot worse, and we can be thankful that it wasn't. From the state's perspective, I can tell you that we sent folks down here last night to aid in the urban search and rescue, and those primary searches happened during the darkness when there wasn't electricity, and working with all the locals. And then today we finished the secondary searches, and it's the fire marshal's office that's primarily responsible for that. But there are more than 100 fire marshal's offices, officials, I should say, here doing that right now. And they have already assessed more than 600 residences and businesses and documented the damage that was sustained by them as they do that. We also have about 40 state police officers on the ground assisting with traffic control and security. We have 893 guardsmen working today. Now, not all of them on the tornado, but about 184 are. And the good news is we have Jackson Barracks, which is right next door, where we can marshal resources. We're doing that in terms of tarps. In fact, tarps have already been delivered to the fire station here, but we've got more coming to Jackson Barracks, and thousands of liters of water, thousands of meals right there. And I've authorized up to 300 guardsmen should we need them. And I think you're going to see over the coming days a really big effort from the guardsmen with their engineers to go out and pick up debris and clear routes, so that we can clean this area up. If there's a silver lining right now, it is that we do have beautiful weather. We're going to have it for several days, and we're going to try to do everything we can to clean up this area, get the debris removed, or restore electricity, and get people's lives right side up as best we can as soon as possible. There are remaining about 2,500 or so power outages based on the latest information we have from the Public Service Commission. But you can see there are crews out all over Arabi, and I suspect, Mr. President, you're going to see good progress made on power restoration just as very quickly because of the weather and how many crews we have who are out here. But I do want to take a moment to remind people that in natural disasters, especially when you have power outages, a lot of times the biggest loss of life isn't from the storm itself, it's from the operation of generators. And so we ask people to please be safe. Make sure that generator is operated at a safe distance from your home, never in the home, never in a crawl space, never next to a window or a vent. And please make sure you turn it off and let it cool for 20 minutes or more before you actually refuel it. And we've had a lot of problems with carbon monoxide deaths and with fires started from refueling. There was a significant amount of damage, as you can see, but at this point we don't know whether we're going to meet the thresholds necessary to qualify for federal assistance. In terms of public assistance and individual assistance, we are monitoring that, and we're on the ground. The Fire Marshal's Office has already used Survey 123. I told you about the 600 structures that have already been assessed, but we're asking homeowners and renters to report, to self-report to GOSEP, so that we can keep a list, and as soon as possible, if we're able to justify it, we will make that request for assistance. But you can do that on your phone or on the computer. You go to damage.la.gov, and you can actually upload photos. You can describe the damage that has been done to your structure, and that would be very helpful. Again, that's damage.la.gov. You know, tornadoes are kind of strange. We had a tornado in 2017 in New Orleans East. At the end of the day, we qualified for individual assistance, but not public assistance. After that, we had a tornado up in Lincoln Parish in Ruston, and we qualified for public assistance, but not individual assistance. And right now, we don't know. But there's a dollar threshold, and we're going to have about $7.6 million in damage to public infrastructure if we're going to get assistance with that from the federal government. But I do want, while I'm talking about the federal government, I do want people to know that I received calls today from the White House and from the FEMA administrator. They're leaning forward to help with anything that we need, so long as we qualify for that assistance. The one thing that I feel very comfortable about is the Small Business Administration will make available its loan program. And I think that's going to be turned on very quickly. And so I want people to be leaning forward on that if that happens to be able to assist them in this time of need. There is a Small Business Development Center office out there, and the New Orleans regional office is at Xavier University, and you can go to louisianasbdc.org in order to get that information. We're going to ask people to please stay off the roads, especially in the area of Arabi. Traffic control is very difficult. But we also still have a lot of debris, as you all can see. They're down on the roads, and so we're going to ask people to be patient and allow the folks here the opportunity, the time that they need, and the opportunity in order to clear the roads of debris and make them safe. So with that, I'm going to ask the president if there's anything that you wanted to share with the group. President McGinnis.
Governor, thank you for all of your assistance. All of our representatives here, Congressman, thank you guys for everything y'all doing. Our citizens are resilient. We're going to get back up and going as soon as we can. And with this weather that God has given us, we're going to get our citizens back sooner rather than later. And Governor, with all of your help and the federal help, we're going to make this happen really quick. And as you can see, communities already picking up, and our first responders in our sheriff's department and firefighters are working hard to make sure that this scene is secure moving forward. Sheriff?
Yeah, on the security and public safety standpoint, again, if you have no business back here, just stay away from here. We're not going to allow any sightseers coming on back here. There's just simply too much stuff going on. The first responders are working still back here, providing both security and assistance to the people in the area. But we also don't want anybody back here that don't belong back here. So again, tonight we're going to have extra patrols out here in this area because some areas may not have power. So we want to make sure that those areas particularly are secured. And again, like I said, don't come causing a problem for us because we're going to cause a problem for you.
And I can assure you he's going to have not just the St. Bernard Sheriff's Office, but he's got deputies who are going to come from surrounding parishes. We're going to have about 40 more state troopers than we would normally have in this area, and we're going to have National Guardsmen in the area offering security as well. And that's something that we're able to do because of the declaration of emergency that I signed earlier this morning. Congressman Carter, we're happy to have you here today. Unfortunate it's under these circumstances, but we'll give you
thank you all, and the Governor, and President, Sheriff, and all of our elected officials, and National Guard, and first responders. This is one of those situations where, unfortunately, we've gotten too good at this because we've had too much practice. We know that people are hurting, but the good news is that we've got boots on the ground, as the Governor has said. Parish officials have been incredible. The surrounding parishes and the ancillary agencies have stepped up, and will continue to. As the Governor has said, we've been in communication with the White House and with federal agencies, and when and where we are available to do what's necessary to help stand these communities back up, both here in Arabi as well as in eastern New Orleans and other areas that may have been impacted. The beauty is the resiliency of the people. we've had a chance to talk to these community people and talk to the people who were devastated, to only leave their homes to go next door to help their neighbors. And that is the definition of love in neighborhood, and that's the resiliency of this community, and we all stand ready to continue to assist.
Okay. Governor, if I can just say, the overwhelming support from the region, from people, from organizations, money, offering to come cook for the residents. It's really overwhelming, and just be patient with us. We got to clear these scenes. We got to make sure that it's safe to get people back here. Believe me, we want the volunteers back here helping these people clean up all of their debris, get back in their homes, and cook for them while they do it. So just give us a call at Parish Government, and we will organize all of that and get all of the volunteers to work out here.
Thank you. We'll take a few questions.
This is an issue that came up during Ida and it reared its ugly head, but what can you and everybody else here do to make sure that these homeowners who are going to need insurance money from their private insurance carriers get made whole, and for a lack of a better term, don't get the short end of the stick from their insurance company?
Well, obviously you hope anytime that you have a covered peril damage your home that you get the benefit of the insurance premium dollars you've already paid according to that insurance contract. You know, the homeowners that I spoke to in this visit to this neighborhood, thankfully each of them did have insurance, which is a good thing. And I have every expectation that the insurance companies are going to step up and do what they're supposed to do, and without undue delay. And you know, it's easier, quite frankly, to do that after a tornado than a hurricane, because you have fewer homeowners who are affected, and you should be able to surge your adjusters in that area for a relatively short period of time, get your proof of loss information done. So I don't expect to have the same problems, but we know, and you can go back to my talk before the legislature just at the beginning of last week. We know it's been a tremendous problem, not just after Ida, but after Laura and Delta and Ida, all of those. And so we're calling on the insurance companies to do the right thing, just give the people the benefit of the premium dollars that they paid for, and treat them with respect and conduct themselves in good faith. And I expect that they'll do that, and there's absolutely no excuse not to do it in this situation, because we don't have tens of thousands of claimants. Okay, we have enough. We have more than we want to have, but we don't have tens of thousands. They should be able to handle this.
Governor, how advantageous would it be to get a disaster declaration here? How much more help could they get, and how close do you think we are?
Well, we don't know, and we know that, for example, to ask the federal government, FEMA, for public assistance, we have to have $7.6 million to public infrastructure. Quite frankly, we've looked around. I don't think we're gonna meet that. And then there is no objective formula that tells you when you qualify or don't qualify for individual assistance. So we're going to collect all the information. We do have FEMA with us here on this trip. They're embedded with us. I've already talked to the FEMA administrator. We're gonna give them all of the damage information, let them know all of the low to moderate income homeowners and renters that have suffered damage to where they were living, and detail all the other elements of damage and see what we can qualify for. But we're not waiting for that in order to start helping. And you see that state declaration of emergency allows us to move in the National Guard, the state police, the commodities, and we've already received some requests from the parish about assistance that they may need to pay for the debris removal, assuming that we're not going to get FEMA assistance. And so the good news is the legislature is in session. We have the funding available, and we're going to find the quickest available way to deliver the assistance that they need here to make sure that we can get the debris removed. And trust me, if it's even a close case as to whether we qualify for public assistance or individual assistance, we will be asking for that. But one of the things I want to do today is just remind people that while this destruction is very significant and it's overwhelming here in this community, it's not widespread enough to where it becomes an event that is available for federal assistance absent meeting those thresholds. And it's kind of a double-edged sword. I was talking to the president about this earlier. You pray that the damage is not so widespread and significant that you qualify for federal assistance, but for the people who need it, you want that assistance to be available. So we're working through that. Anything else?
Talk about the spirit of the people here and what you're seeing. 17 years ago, this area was all but wiped out by Hurricane Katrina. They rebuilt. Most people that you've talked with say they're going to rebuild again. If you can talk about just the spirit of the people here in St. Bernard Parish.
Well, first of all, this parish lost more population after Katrina than any other parish in the state, especially as a percentage to St. Bernard. They rebuilt. And they're resilient, wonderful people, and that was on full display last night. The way that they were taking care of one another, and you know, I say this all the time. I am always inspired by the goodness, decency, and generosity of the people of Louisiana. That's not the case anywhere more than it is right here in St. Bernard Parish, and I think that's a testament to the folks who are here. And look, it's more than people should have to bear. Right? I mean, it just is. Ida came through this area just this past August, and you know we're still recovering from that in many ways, and that contributes to the need for the parish to actually ask for additional assistance because there are cash flow issues when they're trying to pay bills related to Ida, and then all of a sudden you get additional bills of the same nature related to this disaster, and that's why we're going to work with them. And I want the people of St. Bernard to know that we're going to work as hard as we can, as fast as we can, to deliver as much assistance as is needed here in St. Bernard Parish. And it's always true that the faith-based community can move faster because they don't have the bureaucratic hurdles to go through, and then neighbors helping one another. And so that's going to be very, very important in the immediate short term, but we're going to be here for you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Maybe one more question, guys?
Well, look, thank y'all for covering this, and I think that you will do a great job of showing not just the state, but the country, just the utter devastation in this community and what these people have experienced overnight, and the fact that this cleanup, this recovery is going to take some time. And so we appreciate the generosity of people from all over the country and across the state. And please remain willing to deliver assistance. Just be a little bit patient because it can't all come at the same time. There's no way to manage that. But if you'll work with St. Bernard Parish, we'll make sure that the assistance that you can provide will be directed to its highest and best use. So thank you all so much.
Thank you all.
That was Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards here in St. Bernard Parish, where he has toured the damage both on the ground and in the air.